Hey, welcome to BSB TV. Setting up these shows is always so much fun. A little bit of theatre sports involved. Julie Mager, how is Mager right? Is that the right pronunciation?
I can't tell you. It's my Kiwi ancestors. It's Major.
Oh, so Major, as in Colonel and Major. There you go. So Julie Mager. And Julie is going to help us all with our habits, because success is more predicated on habit than it is on anything else that we can think of.
It's certainly a huge contribution if you can get control of your habits and make sure that they are the type of habits that are leading you towards your goals and not away from them. So I think habits get a bad rap at times. I think a lot of people hear the word habits and they assume it's a bad thing, because we tend to talk about
people think about bad habits, and I blame that Billy, whatever his face was that sang the song Bad Habits, but we won't go into that right now. And not many of the people here are old enough to even remember that song. Just me and my terrible 80s music, that's all it is. So it's easy to say that we need to get good habits, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to think about, I just need to change my habits. But changing behavior is really, really, it's easy when you use the right process. But if you don't use the right process, it's really hard.
Absolutely. So the difference, a lot of people get habits and behaviors mixed up. And so a behavior is something that you are consciously aware of. It's something that you intentionally do. So you know that you, and the thing about behavior is it requires willpower. You've got to remind yourself to do it. And so what we want to do with habits is create enough consistency in that habit that it just becomes automatic. So you're not even thinking about it. So if you think about, just think about a few habits during the day. I think about 85% of your day is habitual. So things like, what's your routine when you get out of bed? How do you clean your teeth? You cleaned your teeth, you don't even think about how you do it. But if I told you to clean your teeth with the other hand that you don't normally use, you would have to put more thought into it.
Oh, and I'm ever so uncoordinated with my left hand. I'd get toothpaste all over.
Yeah, or driving the car. You know, you hop in the car, you put your seatbelt on. You don't think I must raise my left hand and grab my seatbelt and pull it in and plug it in and do this and do that. You're halfway to work before you've even realized you're even doing it. But if I asked you to hop in a left-hand drive vehicle and drive, the concentration and the willpower and the thought process would be a lot more complex.
Absolutely. So it's really important. So what's the importance of creating habits?
Well, basically it frees up the more things that you can have in a day that are habitual. Some people call them systems. A lot of people interact that word systems as well. But the more things that you can create as an automatic habit, the less brain power, or the more brain power you've got to apply to other things in your day. So if you can automate things, so even, I mean, some people like to wear the same clothes every day. It's a lot of evidence that, wearing a uniform.
I know that was a habit that, Mark Zuckerberg had for a long time. He wore his hoodies, and that was just so that he could eliminate the thought process about what he was going to wear. That was one less thing he had to think about. He could think about more important stuff.
That's right. And we were just talking before we came on air about the habits of, highly successful people. And you'll find when you look into their profiles that they have a lot of those kinds of processes, habits, systems in their life built in, so that their mind is free to concentrate on the things or focus on the things that really are important in the day, or that they do require a bit more power. So it's kind of an energy saver for your brain, really. If you can automate things in your life or habitualize, I don't even know if that's the word, things in your life, then you can definitely put more power into what's important.
Well, absolutely. And if doing the right thing has become a habit, if doing the right thing, and the right thing is the stuff that's taking you towards the outcomes that you're desiring, not moving away from the outcomes that you're desiring. So if you can create the right habits that are automatically and unconsciously taking you towards your desired outcome, then it's going to be, you're going to create more success for yourself. You're going to make your life easier.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and that's the key to it. So you've got a 3-step process.
If you say it fast, but there is a process.
And that's what I was about to go to. You're going to share with us next week the process of how to build those habits.
Absolutely.
Because, as we said, it's really, if there's all these rumors, hey, it takes 21 days or 28 days or 60 days or whatever it is to form a habit, but it's all a big fat lie. I'm going to say it's all a big fat lie, because with that, you're relying on your willpower. And if our willpower was enough, we'd already be doing that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm going to try to do next week, Kevin, is just to help people recognize what's triggering them or cueing them to do the habit, and then realize what is the reward they're getting out of that action or that habit or that task that they're regularly doing. And then we'll pull that apart and match it to what their goals are. So it's it's kind of, I guess, it's a 4-step process. It's really, what do you want to achieve? What are you doing now? So how can we rewire that, reprogram it, or restructure the situation so that, you can get more out of your day, really? I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to be more productive. And whether that productivity means we get a half an hour for a walk or some meditation or some quiet time, it's still productivity as it applies to us as an individual. So there's all kinds of outcomes.
Absolutely. Look, I'm really looking forward to next week and finding out more about how I can create the right habits in my life, because I know I've got plenty of ones that aren't. So, with that, I'm sure I'm not alone in this community of 14,000 people that have a couple of bad habits in there that we'd like to move away from. But as we said, the only way to get rid of a bad habit is to replace it with a good habit. So with that, I'm really looking forward to next week. What day are we on today? We're on Tuesday, aren't we? Next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Throughout the week, I'll get you to share some little tips and hints that will lead towards a little bit more, that will help people go, hey, I really do need that insight. So thank you very much for your time today, Julie Major. I really appreciate your support and your support for the businesses within the community. Thanks so much for your time today.